So I have in my hand the newest drone in the world. This is the Stone 720R, and you know what? It isn't. I reviewed this thing almost a year ago in November of 2022. It's actually made by MJX and was sold then as the MJX Bugs 18 Pro, and I really like that drone. And I do like this drone, but it's not new, although it does have some subtle differences from the Bugs 18. And yes, it does actually have a few new features, but I wouldn't call it a brand new drone, just a slightly different take. That's actually what a lot of the sellers on Amazon do, and Stone might be the biggest Amazon seller of drones out there. And they buy their drones from other manufacturers, places like MJX and SJRC. They put a different casing on it, and they add their own tiny little twist, and then they sell it to you. Now, if it's on Amazon, it's going to be a little bit more expensive than buying from places like Banggood, but you do get solid customer service from Stone and Amazon. Now, you pay a premium, and this thing is $340. Now, there's a coupon code that you can just check off, and you'll save $30 right off the top. Plus, I've asked Stone to give my viewers a coupon code, and they usually do that. They'll give me 10 to 30%, so make sure you check the video description if you're interested in buying this thing. Buying drones in the $200 to $300 range is actually really difficult. There's some pretty decent ones, but also a lot of not so good ones. And I actually just made a video on my top 10 drones that you can buy that are less than $200, and the Bugs 18 made the cut, which means this guy gonna be pretty solid. So let's talk about this, the Stone HS720R. Now, this is the best drone you can buy from Stone. It just is. It's really pretty solid. We've got a full 3-axis gimbal, a 26-minute flight time, a range of just under 2 miles, 1.9 miles, 1.86 I think is the actual measurement. But either way, you're not going to fly it that far away, but you do get a solid video signal. It has a couple of intelligent flight modes. There is a follow me and there is a point of interest. So basically, you're going to fly in a circle around an object. There is also a time-lapse feature where you can do dronies and rockets and fly in a straight line, and it's supposed to take time-lapse photography, but I found that it actually is just taking normal videos, not time-lapse photography. So there's that. I've asked Stone about it, and it looks like they're going to try and push firmware updates to this thing so it'll continue to improve. It does have nice brushless motors, and that's going to kind of help with the efficiency and the longer flight time. The camera quality on this is good, not great. It's not professional grade quality, but it's going to be good enough for most people. I think this is a pretty solid beginner drone. So it records in 4K, 30 frames per second, or you could opt for full HD at 60 frames a second, maybe if you want to do some slow-mo. I like the camera, maybe a bit oversaturated, but solid for a beginner drone. There's an SD card slot on the side here, and I absolutely recommend you use an SD card. You don't have to record to the SD card. You could record to your phone, but the video quality recording to your phone isn't going to be quite as good as if you use a micro SD card. Now, the follow me mode will follow the remote. It's not like draw a box on the screen, it'll follow a subject, it'll follow your remote. So just kind of keep that in mind. Now, you can move the gimbal up and down, you can move the drone up and down, but you can't control the drone as it's following you, which is a little bit disappointing. I'd like to have full functionality to move the drone around obstacles and things, but really you can just go up and down and then move the camera. All right, so let's take a look at the app itself. On the left-hand side, we have the flight modes. You can see I'm in follow me, then return to home, and take off and land. Along the top, we have some information about satellites and things like that. In the lower left-hand corner, we have distance and height. In the lower right-hand corner, you can kind of zoom in and out there. Now in the upper right hand corner we have the gear icon. You can change some settings. Below that, the play button will look at pictures and videos that you've taken. Below that, stopwatch is the time lapse, which you can do rockets and dronies and other time-lapse things there, but they're not really working as time-lapse. Then below that, we switch between camera and video mode. That's your record or shutter button. And then we have some different settings, those dials there. That is to change saturation, things like that. So if you're shooting on a cloudy day, you can adjust for things like that. Another thing that's really nice is you get this carrying case for your drone, so you can keep it safe and it's easy to take with you. Holy Stone always does that with their products, and that's really a nice touch. The remote here is basic, simple to use. We got a lock button to start the motors. We have a takeoff and land button here, low, medium, and high speeds. And on the shoulders here, we can take pictures and video. And then this gimbal dial will move your camera up and down. You're gonna hold your phone here, which will be your video feed. You just use the Holy Stone Ophelia app, I think it's called, to get that picture. You're gonna connect your phone directly to the drone, and that's gonna provide your video. So I have the Bugs 18 Pro in my right hand, and this is the Holy Stone. Yes, they are the same thing. They have the same camera, they have the same specs. The batteries are the same size, although they're not interchangeable because Holy Stone does customize the shell of the drone. So unfortunately, you can't swap batteries. I tried, but they're gonna perform the same way. Now the Holy Stone does have those time-lapse features that aren't really time-lapse, they're just taking videos. Now sure, I could speed them up, make them kind of time-lapsey, but that's not really the point. Now the Bugs 18 Pro is generally less expensive. I can buy this thing for about $220 on Banggood. It used to be less than 200 bucks, but the price of everything has gone up these days, and that unfortunately includes drones as well. The Bugs 18 Pro also comes in one of these nifty carrying cases, so there's that. But you're gonna buy it from Banggood, which, listen, they're reputable. I buy things from them all the time. It's gonna take longer, and if you run into any issues, well, you're gonna run into issues because dealing with customer service isn't quite as easy as dealing with Holy Stone. Now this drone is more than 250 grams, which means you're gonna have to register it with the FAA, and you're gonna have a remote ID module with it. Now, remote ID was pushed back, but it's still coming. And Holy Stone says, hey, if you need a remote ID module, contact them. Now it's really kind of unclear if they're just gonna send you one or you have to buy it, but they apparently have some remote ID modules in the works. Now they told me that they're just gonna send them with the HS600, which I recently reviewed. So I'm hopeful that they're just going to send them to customers that need them that bought this drone as well. Now at $300, you're getting kind of into that fringe level where drones really start to get better. And I really like the DJI Mini SE2, which is 340 bucks. You're gonna get a better camera, you're gonna get more stability, you're gonna get a better range. Overall, DJI really does make the best drone. They're not quite hobby grade like this is. They're kind of geared towards professionals. Now, you know, if you're not a pro and you want to save a few bucks, sure, but I'd actually probably recommend spending a few more bucks and go with the DJI Mini SE. Now, if this thing drops under $300, you know, 40 bucks is no small chunk of change, so you really do have to consider that. Another option is this, the Seafly Faith Mini, and you can get this for like $175. I really like the video quality coming out of this, but it also has its limitations, which all drones that cost less than $200 do. And remember, I just made a video talking about my 10 favorite under 200 bucks. You're definitely gonna wanna check that one out if you're thinking about this Holy Stone. At the end of the day, you have to decide, is this what you're looking for? Is this the drone for you? Thinking about the features and limitations of it, only you can make that decision. Anyway, I hope this review of the Holy Stone HS720R was helpful. Make sure you like the video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, we'd love to have you back. Click that button. Good luck, everyone, and happy flying.